If you're still jumping to defend yourself, explain, or prove your worth, you're already being led around. Reacting isn't strength. It's obedience in disguise. Whoever pulls your trigger owns you. Every manipulation starts the second someone figures out how to make you snap. Anger, rush, fear of missing out, craving a comeback. If any of those buttons still work, you're playable. Today you're gonna get why the guy who doesn't react is never controlled, and why most dudes mistake reacting for being in charge while handing over the wheel of their own life. Let's hit this straight, no bull. Not reacting isn't being passive, cowardly, or stone-faced. It's refusing the other person's emotional setup. It's stepping off the board before the game even starts. The man who doesn't react doesn't fight for power because he won't play the game. He doesn't respond on their timeline, explain under fire, or speed up to ease the itch. And that dismantles any control attempt. Here you'll see how reacting breeds predictability, how predictability becomes leverage, and how nipping that in the bud flips your spot in any situation. Clear win, you ditch the reactive zone. Clear loss, ignore it, and you keep thinking you're calling the shots while someone else sets the pace, vibe, and ending for you. Take this in slow, cause the first slip that puts you on a leash is more common than you think. Number 1, reacting is playing their game. Every time you react, you're buying into a frame you didn't build. Sounds basic, but this is where most hand over control thinking they're standing tall. Reacting locks you into their rhythm, their timing, their emotion. You start responding to pokes instead of calling your own shots, and responders are always one step behind. Reacting isn't choosing, it's chasing what's already thrown. The agitator sets the tone, you jump in to defend ground. The accuser paints the picture, you rush to fix your rep. The pusher creates urgency, you dive in to kill the buzz. In every case, you're not holding the wheel anymore. Reacting is signing up for the game before knowing if it's worth your time. The guy who reacts feels this instant itch to correct, clarify, justify. He thinks silence is losing when it's really opting out. He mixes up replying with power, when replying just proves the hook landed. Reacting too quick spills something risky, fear of losing the story. And that fear's the perfect lever. Hit the right spot again and the reaction rolls out fresh. The man who doesn't react gets this early. He doesn't step in to defend cause he won't buy into the emotional court rigged against him. He watches the move, reads the intent, and decides if it's worth his juice. That pause flips everything, because while the other waits for a reaction to tweak their attack, they hit nothing, and nothing disarms. But here's the snag: most can't handle that nothing. Anxiety kicks in, impulse wins, and that's where the fake authority crumbles. If reacting is playing their game, the big question hits. Why do so many guys still mix up reacting with throwing weight around? Number 2, the myth of the guy who throws his weight around. There's this classic screw-up that makes tons of dudes think they're in charge when they're just reacting louder. It's the myth of the guy who throws his weight around. The one who snaps back sharp, cuts him off cold, raises his voice, slams the table, and figures that's authority. Nope. That's emotion leaking out dressed as toughness. Whoever throws weight like that is still in the other guy's game, just noisier. He reacts to the jab by trying to crush it, but just showing up to the fight confirms the jab worked. The guy who throws his weight has to prove something, has to show he won't take it, he's not weak, it didn't sting. And needing to prove means you're already explaining to some ghost judge. Emotional weight throwing comes from insecurity about losing ground, respect, or grip. That's why it's loaded with strain. Voice ramps up cause the core's already rattled. Posture stiffens cause fear's in play. And anyone paying attention reads it right away. Head-on clash is comfy for pros at poking, cause it gives exactly what they want. Predictable blowback. The truly solid guy doesn't scrap for that turf. He doesn't need to throw weight cause he won't buy the frame. He skips the emotional arm wrestle. He just doesn't budge, and that wrecks the whole setup. While the other braces for impact, they hit steady ground. While expecting a hard comeback, they get zip. That confuses, pisses off, and deflates. Cause you can't beat someone who didn't show up to fight. Real authority doesn't need a billboard. It's felt when you realize you couldn't shift the guy an inch. And this is where most get lost, mixing silence with weakness and clash with clout. But there's a kind of silence that doesn't back down. It rejects. And once you get that, you see the next level isn't reacting better. It's not reacting at all. That's when silence stops being empty and turns into a tool. Number 3, silence as rejection. This is the flip most miss. Silence isn't no answer. Silence is a flat no. It's saying no without opening your mouth. When you react, you RSVP to their emotional arena. When you go silent on purpose, you trash the invite, and that shatters what they expected. Most use silence as payback or escape. Ghost to stir drama, clam up to punish, sulk waiting for their move. That's still gaming. The silence that makes a man untouchable is different. It doesn't teach lessons, doesn't chase effects. It just doesn't engage. The poker expects a knee-jerk, expects anger, defense, excuses, or hurry. Conscious silence gives none of that. It creates a vacuum where the other has no bearings. No clue if it landed, missed, got read, or ignored. That vacuum breeds unease because it yanks control from the poker. No reaction, no tweak. No tweak, strategy flops. The guy who wields silence knows replying isn't always fixing. Sometimes it's just bearing yourself. He opts to scope the next move before his first, and while scoping, the other spills. Cranks the volume, repeats the poke, switches tactics. Each flop hands over more motive. Silence turns into a magnifying glass. But here's the twist that splits fakers from holders. This silence only lands if it's not from fear. If it's insecure, it leaks. Turns rigid, sarcastic, delayed, boom. Rejecting silence is chill. It doesn't buzz with strain, doesn't need to drag on. It lasts just long enough for dust to settle and patterns to show. And when patterns show, the call's clear. That's why this silence needs no breakdown. No beg, forget it. It just is. And when someone sees they couldn't yank a reaction, they face something awkward. No game here, just choice. But holding this silence demands something almost no one builds for real. True self-control. Not the showy kind, but the unseen. That's when shit gets real. Number 4, self-control is unseen. This is where most flop because they mix self-control with holding back. Think controlling yourself is choking rage, swallowing comebacks, clenching jaws, and enduring. Nah, that's bottled pressure. Real self-control doesn't strain because there's no impulse to fight. It kicks in when impulses don't rule. The guy who doesn't react isn't biting his tongue. He just isn't tugged. And that changes the game. Anyone gunning for control hunts clear triggers. Tense glare, tone shift, sudden rush, fake calm effort. Unseen self-control spills nothing. Doesn't announce itself. Doesn't turn dramatic pose. It's steady. And steady scares because it offers no crack. The truly controlled guy doesn't try controlling others. He doesn't need to win arguments, end beefs, prove right. He knows trying to steer someone else means you lost your own grip. So he lets stuff unfold without emotional buy-in. He eyes behavior, not words. Pace, not excuses. Patterns, not one-offs. And while the other fishes for reaction to prop their spot, they hit someone whole, unhurried, unstressed, no reply itch. This self-control doesn't draw eyes, but sets ranks. 'Cause wholeness doesn't rush. No rush means no leading. But there's a spot where even seemingly controlled dudes slip. A sore point that sparks instant reaction. Fear of losing. That's where almost everyone cracks. And that's the real test of grip. Number 5. Reaction stems from fear of losing. This is the spot where most dudes sell themselves out. Fear of losing. Losing the girl, the image, the edge, the handle. Reaction sprouts right there. Not raw anger, not noble outrage. It's attachment masked as backbone. When you react, you're usually clutching something you think might slip. Voice spikes 'cause fear's up. Rush hits 'cause loss bugs you. Excuses flow 'cause you don't want them walking with the wrong take on you. And all that hands over power. Emotional blackmail only works if losing it throws you off. Threats to bail, ghost, pull away, or trash you only bite if you can't stomach the loss. The guy who doesn't react grieves that before the drama. He accepts loss and stays solid. Not as pretty words, but inner build. He knows silence doesn't kill. Distance doesn't break. Absence doesn't set worth. And when that's real, reaction fizzles. No scramble to hold. No push to sway. No fear to mine. The poker spot's quick that threats flop. Drama doesn't hook. Pressure doesn't rev. The scene hits vacuum. And that's when the game shifts. 'Cause with fear of losing gone, the manipulator loses their race. But when threats bomb, next comes poking. Jabbing. Testing. 'Cause if fear didn't tug, maybe emotion will. And that's where many still trip. 'Cause poking's just a yank reaction. And when it gets none, something weird brews on their side. Frustration. Push. Spill. That's when the edge really flips. Number 6. Poking needs a comeback. Poking only lives to pull reaction. No comeback, it dies at the root. But most can't let it die. Poking hits as emotional nudge, snide remark, calculated quiet, test wrapped as joke. All aimed at one thing, see if you shift. The manipulable dude bites without clocking it. He replies to act unfazed, claps back to prove untouched, snarks to reclaim grip. Any reply gives what they wanted. Proof. The poke worked. The guy who doesn't react clocks the mechanics. He knows replying feeds it. Knows every reaction greenlights the poke. So he doesn't rush to shut him down, fix tone, or flash toughness. He lets the poke echo solo, and when it gets no echo, something cracks over there. They double down, amp it, swap plays, tone flips, mask slips, poking turns frustration, and frustration bears motive. The poker chased control, no control, composure cracks, repeats loop, self-snitches. The non-reactor gains intel without burn. He notes who pushes, how, when. Each dud try spills more than a killer line. That's when the edge inverts. While they grind for emotion, he stacks facts. While they wear out, he stays whole. But this edge holds only 'cause he ain't rushing closure. Doesn't need scene end to feel good. Lets him tire out. And when someone tires trying to budge you, they face the awkward. No lever here. But one common slip lingers. Lots of dudes think one no-react fixes it. Nah. 'Cause reaction ain't just instant clapback. It's what leaks later too. And that's where the next hit lands hard. Number 7. Reacting hands over the map. This is the bit most miss in real time. Every reaction sketches a map. Full emotional layout, routes, shortcuts, weak spots in red. React angry, you flag insecurities. React rushed, you show lost fears. React over-explaining, you crave nods. And sharp eyes snag gold, predictability. The reactor thinks he's guarding, but he's doing their homework. Drawing the how to pull next time guide. Just rerun the right poke and reaction autoplays. That's why manipulation rarely gets fancy, just steady. The non-reactor gets this quiet game. Knows emotion-spilled words gift info. So he cuts exposure. Doesn't talk to justify. Doesn't reply to shield. Doesn't speed to prove there. He keeps the map private. No reaction, no clear read. No read, no grip. The steerer starts botching timing, heat, angle. Tugs fear flops. Tugs pride flops. Tugs urgency flops. More tugs, more spills. The untouchable doesn't hide actively. Just doesn't offer enough to crack. This builds killer asymmetry. One side bears more chasing shift. The other stays foggy. And fog's shield. But here's a trap that fools many. Spotting no react power, some dudes harden too much. Turn rock, think blank face is strength, and that's sliding into subtler reaction just as risky. Pride. Gotta dismantle that now before the build turns trap. Number 8, the pitfall of the proud guy. This is where lots think they've peaked, but really just switch traps. The proud guy figures no react means never bend. Holding ground means no reroute. Strength means stiff. Nope. That's bruised ego shielding. Pride still reaction, just delayed and mute. It reacts to fear of looking weak, losing face, owning screw-ups. This guy skips replies not from grip, but refusing to dent his self-image. And that's prime for smart steerers. 'Cause pride locks a spot, a stance too painful to drop. And locks become targets. Just press patient. Poke the right edge. The proud guy won't budge, adjust, rethink. He stiffens. And stiff means predictable. Unlike the conscious non-reactor, the proud one's always defending. Identity, story, role. He dives into silent tug-of-wars, who blinks firsts. Endurance games that exist 'cause ego won't release. The truly uncontrollable clings to principles, not spots. Spots demand guard. Principles allow flow. The proud mixes consistent with stubborn, firm with unbend. So he still reacts, just locked. Thinks he's above the game, but still in it. Difference, now playing his mirror. The real untouchable adjusts when needed. Sees smart pullback as no loss. Sees dumb dig in as weak. And once you get that, you see no react isn't turning stone. It's staying fluid without losing core. That firm flow kills any steering try. 'Cause you can't push someone who won't plant where you want. This piques the talk, where all control bids die from no footing. The non-reactor doesn't compete. He voids the whole game. Number 9. The non-reactor doesn't play. This ties it up. The man who doesn't react isn't gunning for wins, not scrapping for power, not rivaling for grip, not sizing emotional muscle with anyone. He just doesn't play. And that's killer for any manipulation. 'Cause emotional games need two and deep. Need poke and clap back, attack and block, action and reaction. When one bows out, the game starves. Not from clash, but no air. The non-reactor doesn't trash the other. He trashes the setup. Doesn't feel challenged by tests, shrunk by ignores, squeezed by now demands. Doesn't rush proofs 'cause his worth ain't on the line. And that wrecks it all. The controller starts solo dancing. Pushes, tweaks tone, ramsacks. More push, more bear. Grip fails 'cause no hook. No fear to dig. No pride to poke. No expect to bust. The non-reactor ditched the field where those tools work. Doesn't need debate wins 'cause he skipped it. Doesn't need scene close 'cause it ain't threatening. He doesn't beat the game. He makes it moot. And that drops heavy psych weight over there. Quiet frustration. Unease. Respect laced with stuck. 'Cause it's clear. No entry. No gap. No lever. This is the max. Not 'cause he dominates, but 'cause he's unleaded. But this state ain't auto. Needs conscious pick. Repeated. Gritty. A choice splitting getters from nodders. And that's the seal on all said. The time to bail for good from reactive turf. Number 10. Ditching the reactive zone. No fresh tricks here. No magic lines. No outer acts to ape. Just an inner call almost no one owns 'cause the price tag's too steep for emotion-comfy folks. Ditching reactive zone means stop living off others' pokes. Decide no jab, squeeze outside, expect gets auto-reply. Cut impulse before it words, before tone, before excuse. The ditcher sets who he is pre-scene. When scene hits, no haggling that core. No speed to kill strain, no reply to polish rep, no scrap to prove worth. He rides silence's early itch knowing it's short-term. Grip loss? Long haul. This pick hurts first. You'll seem icy to reactionist care types, distant to reply feeders. Lose ties to folks who stuck 'cause they could shift you. But that trim clears ground. Clear ground, no weeds. The ditcher doesn't feel mighty, feels steady. And steady doesn't spotlight, but draws lines. He skips reaction 'cause no need. Not from holdback lessons, but from dodging tug spots. Needs reps, some slips, spot impulse, rising and skip. Except not every scene needs your take. Sustain long enough, shift hits. Tries drop, pokes weaken. Respect sneaks in unannounced. Not from weight throw, but from clear. No game here. And that's when grip stops being chase. It turns into what no one grabs from you. Bottom line, it's not about going cold, mute, or aloof. It's who holds your core when heat's on. The non-reactor didn't beat, shame, or boss anyone. He just did what few do. Stopped being emotional crash pad. Reactors chase fires they didn't light. Non-reactors pick paths pre-blaze. Cost comfort. Nods. Folks who hung 'cause they could budge you. But leftovers? Rare. Real emotional freedom. And that freedom doesn't yell, explain, justify. It just blocks games from starting. If this hit home, don't debate. Shift stance. And drop I don't react if you got that control ain't fought it ends. Reactors keep thinking they're boss. Getters just stop showing up.